Today we're talking about color. All right, every year the major paint manufacturers, this is a way to get you to paint your home every single year. They talk about the hot color of the year. And it's interesting because this year, apparently, Sherwin-Williams couldn't pick just one color. They had to have an entire color capsule. So for 2025, the color capsule of the year is intended to celebrate the brand's 15th anniversary of the color of the year. So they've been doing this. These different brands have been doing this, highlighting a color of the year for the last 15 years. So I'm surprised that Sherwin-Williams, since they're celebrating the 15th year, they didn't have 15 colors, but they only have 9. I don't know what the reasoning is, but it's a whole color capsule. So I'm going to go through some of these colors that are the hot color trends for Sherwin-Williams. Remember, these colors are going to be highlights. They're going to be one wall rather than all of the walls of your room. You want to just have a little standout, maybe just a little bit of fun within your home. If you go crazy and do these colors on all of the walls, next year something new will be cool and hot and trendy, and you're going to have to repaint again, unless you love to repaint. But the neutral colors, and we're talking about Sherwin-Williams now, we have agreeable gray and accessible beige. Those are my go-tos. I've been recommending those colors for many, many years, and they just work. They work. I usually go with the accessible beige if you have the brown tones in your like staircases or your flooring or something like that. If you have the oak flooring, the accessible beige works really well. The agreeable gray also brings in a little bit of contemporary, but it's a very warm gray as well. So the color of the year, Sherwin-Williams, the color capsule. Really funny to me, but at the same time, okay, let's take a look at them. Grounded is the revival of a brown trending color in the room. So grounded is in there. It's a little brown, kind of works. I would probably use that as a highlight in, it's considered to be an earthy shade, so maybe a sunroom, something like that, or a room that has a lot of light coming in. The next color is called sun bleached, and it falls somewhere between white but not quite gray, and it's a little bit more colorful than a basic beige or taupe. Sun bleached might be a really good a good color that you could use and maybe last for a minute. Chartreuse, one of the more bold colors, is a vibrant yellow and green shade. I'm going to think that one's going to be out in a year or so. So again, use sparingly. Rain cloud, love this color. I don't know who makes up the names of the colors, but rain cloud is a deep gray blue shade, little moody, comforting. That may be perfect for a bedroom. Clove is a very deep, I think clove, okay, think about the spice clove. We may be using that over the holidays. So it's a very black shade of brown. Again, use sparingly. And then Malabar, Bosque pear, white snow, and mauve finery. Mauve finery, what is that? Those are the colors. There's 9 colors of the year for Sherwin-Williams. They're making it a little bit more difficult to choose a color. So colors of the year, again, colors of the year are very trendy. If you know me at all and you're planning to sell your home, trendy is not the way to go. Stick with the basics. Stick with the neutrals. All right, Benjamin Moore. Thank goodness. They actually only have 1 color of the year rather than 9. So if you're looking for a new paint to refresh your home on the inside, Benjamin Moore has announced the color of the year for 2025, and it is a shade called Cinnamon Slate. It is a blend of plum and velvety brown. Cinnamon Slate. That's interesting. That sounds really pretty, but again, I would use it only on an accent wall. I would not use it in an entire room. I do like an accent wall, especially as a featured wall. If you're using an accent wall in let's say you have a great room and you use one wall that has that deep, rich hue to it, that can highlight your fireplace if you have a fireplace, a mantle, maybe it's behind your TV if you have your TV mounted on that big wall, or maybe a 2-story great room, something like that. Or if you have some wood trim around that highlights, it can be very, very beautiful. And that may be something that you don't have to remove when it's time to sell. We'll just have to see how trendy it is. Because like I said, if it's red, it's got to go. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. So I don't know, would you decide to change the color of your home every single year? A friend of mine, she's an interior designer, and she will change the color inside of her dining room every single year. So I find this to be a lot of work, because when you paint, you have to remove, everything off the wall, and you have to move the furniture and whatever. And so I think that the number of times she's painted that room, I think her room has gotten smaller because she keeps adding layer and layer and layer and layer of paint. But, it makes her happy, and paint is one of the least expensive things that you can do to brighten, lighten, make your home feel fresh and new again. And it is one of the best things that you can do to increase the value of your home. And so we can talk about paint colors on cabinetry. A lot of people are painting their cabinetry. I, again, would say if you're going to be painting your cabs, if you're going to do it yourself, please do your homework, because nothing is worse than a very badly painted cabinet, especially in the kitchen, which is the focal point of your home. You want to make sure that you prep your surfaces properly and you're using the right kind of paint so you don't see streaks. So painting your cabinets, it can be done, and you can do it. Just do your homework before you do. I always say a classic white is going to always last the test of time. If you go gray, be careful, because again, that could be a little trendy. Some people are just absolutely over the whole gray phase of the color schemes. But if you still like it, that's fine. Paint is reversible for the most part. You can put a gray paint today and a blue paint tomorrow and a white paint, which is going to take a little longer to get back to white. Navy blue on cabinetry can be very pretty. I like to do, and I've seen this in a lot of the Homeorama homes, and over the years, I really do like this. If you have paint color that's neutral, let's say white on your cabinets, on the exterior of the wall of the room, and then you have an island, absolutely paint those island cabinets a little bit darker. Those island cabinets are most likely going to get a little bit more beat up, especially if you have an island where people are sitting and their feet are kicking the walls, or you have dogs and pets and children and people and animals that are scuffing things up. A little bit of a darker hue on the cabinets on an island, a kitchen island. I love a blue there. I love a gray there. Again, it's going to depend a little bit about what kind of countertops you have and backsplash. But staying with the neutrals, if you have white cabinets and you decide to do a real deep blue, navy blue cabinetry on the island, and then you have a fairly simple either black or black and white, a granite, something that picks up all of the colors, it can be such an amazing opportunity for you to have a classic kitchen that will stand the test of time. Sage green is one of those colors that can be very beautiful if used sparingly, because that tends to bring the outside inside and really is one of those colors that can stand the test of time. Black cabinets, very trendy. I think it works in a more modern home, but black cabinets are going to be probably pretty easy, I would think. Well, maybe not, because once you're painting black, if you miss and you hit like the ceiling or something, and then you got to repaint the whole ceiling, if you're not a very neat painter. I'm a terrible painter. I have to hire painting, or I have my husband Scott do it. And so painting is an art, and it's not something that to take lightly. So if you're in the mood to paint and you're not very good at it, you may want to go ahead and hire a professional. It's going to cost you a little bit more for sure, but at the same time, you're going to be happier with the results. So I think that's it. We've done 4 segments about color, and we haven't even touched the exterior of the home. So next week, let's talk about paint colors on the outside of our home and how we should go about doing that as well. My name's Michelle Sloan. Thanks for listening. You're listening to the Sloan Sells Homes Open House.